I've been experiencing like a meditative state like almost all the time. And there's still a lot of activity. Like it doesn't stop really for me. Like I still keep thinking a lot,
Mhm.
but it's like I don't get too absorbed by thoughts. Like I'm aware of them,
Yeah.
that they're going,
Mhm.
but I'm peaceful, like while they are appearing and disappearing. And another thing I've noticed is that I used in the past to like my legs were always shaking, and now they are still like always still. And whenever they start like shaking, I notice immediately, and they immediately relax.
Mhm.
So yeah, that
I
was
have
like
that too.
a very, yeah, like a very continuous thing every day, like almost 24/7. And now it's almost completely gone. And whenever it happens, I'm aware of it. And yeah, it's like I'm very peaceful. And well, a last thing is I have noticed how um like when I'm very peaceful, like that usually bothers other people. Like, why aren't you reacting to what I'm telling you? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just listening and
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Like, it doesn't affect me. And it's not that I don't care about it. It's, I don't know. I don't like
Mhm.
get the emotional response that you are expecting me to have. That
Yeah.
bothers people. So that's funny. So yeah, that's like the update.
Yeah, because it's like they're used to getting that reaction out of you. They're used to getting like a hit of the gossip or the negative energy, the juice essentially, which kind of like that's what like the ego activity. It's always looking for that. It's like looking for those type of conversations to get something out of it, to get a rise, to get just an emotional charge, right? It just wants something. So you'll find your friends that you're used to hanging out with, they'll just start marking you down as boring. Kind of thing. It's just like that. But if they really like that piece, then they'll kind of stick around. But typically to the mind, peace is boring. So that's why it doesn't really, the attention's just it's like, where's the action? I just want the action, right? Whereas like what you are is rest that's aware of the action. So like you're saying, the action's happening, the thoughts are still happening, but because you've found the rest that you're resting, watching the thoughts. These thoughts are appearing in rest. The activity of thinking is appearing in rest. That which is perceiving the thoughts is not itself an activity, right? So the thoughts carry on, and this is where this is kind of like it's like a very much like almost like a cleansing process. It's like a purification. A lot of the habits and stuff are coming up to be seen. You see where you still kind of the attention goes like, oh, I just love that one, and the attention goes into that thought with that type of identification in that situation. But then you start seeing that that you that the attention gets lost in that type of activity at that specific type of area of your life less and less. So then it's like I said, it's about like remaining free instead of volunteering to get identified in all of that. And you notice that it's like a lot of that stuff that you're identified with. It was a lot of like conflict stuff. There's a lot about like positioning, who's better, superior, inferior, gossip, all trying to get like the negativity. And that's where essentially it's like that activity is getting starved because without the identification with it, without continuing that activity, it's just this activity. You said, yes, there's still a lot of thoughts, but you'll see over time it's just less, 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 less. And it's like once in a while, it's like they barely really show up. And when they show up, they're not like these type of egoic thoughts. They're more of like, you could call them like inspirational thoughts. It's always about like creating something. It's always about, it's something like that just wants to come through. They're not like judgmental thoughts. They're not like self like ref, ref self-referencing thoughts or something like that. But that's good. And then like with the leg thing that you're saying is yeah, that's good. And that's what we were talking about a while back, where I was telling you is like try and notice the resistance in the body. It's a lot easier to catch. You catch it on the physical level of like clenching of fists or like jaws or tightness in the shoulders or guarding of like the body posture. So that kind of fluttering of the legs or whatever, a lot of that has to do, and you can check um, with kind of this forward momentum where it's like, I got to get going to the next thing. So it's usually like an anticipation of like the next thing. You could almost relate it to how people don't want to be in the conversation anymore. So then they start grabbing their phone and their keys, signaling that they want to get going. And like that, this leg kind of twitching is kind of like, it's an agitation, which is a subtle resistance to being here in this moment. So it's a subtle, it's resistance to the present moment, because it's kind of saying, I just need to get to the next thing. Right. So then, like I said, the first step to relaxation is actually being aware of the resistance, be aware of the tension. So the fluttering of these legs, like that's a tension. So now you are aware of the tension, and that tension is arising in rest. So you're just resting with the tension, and that tension then softens, and it relaxes, and then it just basically subsides. And that practice, rinse and repeat over and over, you start noticing that kind of fluttering of the legs and that feeling that I just got to get to the next thing, that just stops. And then there's a deeper relaxation into the moment, because you're not like that. You see like a lot of people that are like that. They're always kind of fidgeting with their phone, their keys. They're just constantly like almost like on speed, or like they have ADD or something like that. Right. But that's kind of, that's that pattern, is you can see it in the body, but 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 actually what's happening is it's on the mental level of, there's thoughts that are future projecting. The thoughts are always about the future. So you notice it in the body, and you can just go into it with the body, but you can also notice that, oh, what was I thinking about too? So the signal of the body, then you can also bring the attention to what is it that you're thinking, because you're typically thinking that you have to be into the next moment, like there's somewhere you have to get to, right? So there's always somewhere to go, and there's a you that's going there, but that's seen, and it's seen by that which can't go anywhere. It's seen by that which is always, that's ever present. So that's why I said, you pick it up in the physical, and then it takes more awareness. I got to speak like this. It's not really about a more or less thing, but it's more subtle to notice it on the mental. It's more subtle to notice on the mental. And this is like, this is like everything with life. A lot of the diseases in the body, like when people go to the doctors, they're picking it up. The doctor is seeing symptoms in the body, but treating the symptom as the actual illness. But actually, it's not an illness in the body, it's a symptom in the body. And that symptom is actually a physical symptom, which is coming from something that's emotional and mental, which is invisible, because the doctor's not going to be able to see the emotions, and the doctor's not being able to see the mind. Right. So it's about seeing it by being aware of it. Only awareness is going to see it. The doctor's not going to be able to see these things. So it's noticing that type of stuff, because it's always expressed like that. Like someone who's very bitter and like resentful, like their whole posture is like super closed, closing on the chest. The whole heart's like closed. The whole chest is closed because of that. But that physical manifestation is a representation of like their emotional bitterness, their emotional resentment. It's a holding on. And then it's a holding on mentally, it's a holding on to the past. So then that one is stuck in the past. They're stuck experiencing like painful thoughts, and just like a lot of it is like injustice. But what happened? I can't forgive that person because of what they did. So it's always about like this injustice and blame, that you're blaming someone else. But it's creating this feeling that you're a victim and you're essentially like a prisoner. But the body posture looks like that. It's in this protective mode. It's all closed, protective. So it's like the body is symbolizing what's happening on the emotional and mental level, which is invisible. So that's what I said is you can pick up like by really seeing some of the stuff in the body. That's where things are slower. You can see them. They're more visual. You can see them. Things are faster emotionally, and they're even faster mentally. So that's why I said it's not accurate to say it needs more awareness, because awareness is always full blast, but it's more that it's more subtle to notice things upstream. Yeah, but that's good. It's a good practice.
Wow.
Does that make sense what I'm saying, or resonate?
Totally. Yeah.
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 Are
I would
you
compare
are you
that
seeing
to,
some of that stuff when like as I'm talking about it?
Yeah, actually, I was noticing lately the thing about getting to the next moment. Like whenever my legs start to shake, it's like an impatience.
Mhm.
Like there's something that needs to be done right now to go to the next one. And then I like see it like, oh, my knee is shaking, and it goes away like that, like it calms down right away. And I'm not aware of the thought, like not the verbalization, like the conceptual thought, but it's the sensation of impatience. But it's going like down, like yeah, it's less and less.
Yeah. That's the stuff that's what I was saying, that it's more of there's the word is probably not accurate, but it's like it's a purification, it's a transformation by just seeing it. Just the seeing of being. You're just being and you're seeing, and that alone starts transforming this stuff. It's funny because it's effortless, that the most transformation in your life is happening effortlessly. That these a lot of these patterns, they're just undoing themselves because of just seeing it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you start seeing that these things are just like habits. It's like just this habit of getting to the next moment. It's really this seeking energy. It's seeking for something in the next moment. But that's what I said is by relaxing, by noticing it, it's like you're just kind of almost like I use this word kind of funny, is like you're just giving yourself the reality check, because the seeking is coming from the belief that something's wrong in this moment and you're seeking a solution, that what you're looking for is not here. So just do the reality check when you notice that, like, is there anything wrong with this moment? And you're just checking. You're just relaxing into this moment. You're just checking, and then no problem. And you just relax into it even more. Everything's good. Yeah. Oh, and then you start getting hit with more deeper relaxation, some peace, some happiness. Like, ah, here it is. So what you were seeking for is actually right here. Right.
Yeah.
And like that, it's like you're presenting the proof all the time, because the habit is saying it's not this. And by continuing to show yourself, no, it is this. It can only be this. The habit is always just saying it's not this, it's somewhere else. It's something else. I'm looking for something else. And you're just basically calling its bluff every single time by this. Like I said, it's like it's one of those things. It's like mind will tell you I don't know, you're out of milk, and you go running to the grocery store, But hold on, you might want to check to see if you actually are out of milk, because that's kind of the mind. The mind saying you're out of happiness. Go. It's in the future. Before you go running, check to see, is the happiness actually out? And you go, oh no, it's here. I don't need to go. No need to go to the future today. We'll just stay here. It's sort of like that. Obviously, I'm just having fun with the explanation here, but it's sort of like that. Like I said,
Yeah.
check. You give yourself the reality check. Because mind is always saying that you're not happy right now. And as long as you believe that thought, then you're not happy. Right? That's what I say. Unhappiness is just a thought. It's just a thought that you're believing in. If you
Yeah.
check, every time you check, you just see it's false. It's not true. Right? So that's good. Good insights.